No, they do it in a more covert way, like in a manipulative way, because I notice even when you have male callers calling into your show, they'll all tell you, well, my mom was a good mom.
That's deep. That is so deep. Diana, welcome to the show. Get it off your chest.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, Diana.
Hi. So I live in a building complex, and from time to time, I will visit an elderly man and keep him company because he had lost his wife like 2 years ago. And we was having a conversation. He was talking to me about his neighbor, and it's an elderly woman, and her 40-year-old daughter lives with her. And he was just telling me stuff about like how the daughter is, she drinks and that she's always going out and seeing different men, and that she leaves her mother at home, doesn't take care of her, and that sometimes he would have to go over to her apartment and help her out and things like that.
You mean this is his daughter?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
neighbor's daughter.
I was talking to an elderly man.
Right.
He lives alone.
Oh, okay.
And he was speaking to me about his next door neighbor.
I got you.
That lives right next to him.
Okay.
And it's an elderly woman that lives with her daughter.
Right.
Oh no, actually her daughter lives with her because the apartment belongs to the mom.
Okay.
And so he was just telling me about, the daughter and all this stuff, and how he would have to go and take care of the mom sometimes. And, then we was just having a conversation, and, I think I was kind of like bringing up stuff like, well, her daughter don't owe her mother anything. So, because I think he mentioned something about the mother kept on saying, oh, she doesn't do anything for her and all this other stuff. And I said, well, why should she? She's a grown woman, and I know she lives there, but, I was just saying that, she's a grown woman. She doesn't owe her anything. And, he was like, well, that's her mother still, and, she brought her into this world. And I was like, well, she didn't bring her into this world. God did. And, he was just like, yeah, well, still, she shouldn't be, like, going off and doing things. She should be at home, taking care of her mother instead of me going over there.
Long story short, what?
Okay, so I came to this realization that, he comes out and he was like saying, well, I had this great relationship with my mom. And I was like, I was saying stuff about, like how mothers can be, how they treat their children. And he was like, well, I had this great relationship with my mom. And then I started to tell him about my relationship with my mom. And then he says, well, you know what's crazy? My wife, she went through the same thing with her mother, right? And I said, you see? And I told him, you see, mothers do this to their children. And he goes like, well, my mother was a good mom. So I came to this realization that, mothers tend to treat it's both the same thing, but they are covert with their sons, but they're obvious with their daughters.
When you say obvious, what do you mean?
Like, they're not hiding it. Like, they're just pure evil to their daughters. Like, they'll be evil with them. They'll yell at them. They're, mentally abusive. They'll just, they will just show you they just don't care about you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And you don't think they do the son the same way?
No, they do it in a more covert way, like in a manipulative way, because I notice even when you have male callers calling into your show, they'll all tell you, well, my mom was a good mom.
Yeah.
They'll all come out and say that. They don't say, my mom never did anything wrong. Because basically what they do is they'll manipulate the boys, like say, look, my son is good looking, my son is a good boy, look at this. And then on the side they'll be like, son, come do this for me. And then, they'll be like, oh, my mom loves me, let me do this for her. She calls me, I'm a good boy, and she says all this stuff. So that's kind of how like they manipulate the boys, so that, many times you got these callers that they don't believe that their moms did anything to them, but they doing it in a more subtle, covert way. But the stories that the women will tell you, they'll flat out tell you, oh, my mom was an evil bitch. She was just evil.
She was an evil what?
I didn't want to say the word, but an evil bitch.
A evil what?
The BITC. Like, a dog.
What that spell?
A bitch.
But you make a very good point, Diana. You're right. I think I've seen that before a lot, but I've not put it all together in the manner that you have. And you're making a very, very, very good point. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it came out. I just thought about that because I noticed men all say that their moms were good to them, but when they just don't see it.
Right.
But they do it in a way where they pamper their sons. They treat, like how you mentioned, they treat their sons like that's their man, their husband.
Right.
My beautiful son. Oh, look at this. I did this to him.
They be
he's
hot.
Going to school. Yeah.
They be hot for their sons.
Oh, of course. And then they take them shopping. They do everything. Oh, come take me to the store. Do this, do that. Yeah. And because, they've been, the men have gotten all that attention from their mom when they were little. They keep craving that attention, and they'll just do whatever they want for their mothers because, their mothers are so nice to them. Very,
very deep, profound point. You're absolutely right. I'm getting all these flashes of different guys I've spoken to over the years, and that's exactly what happened to them. I know one now that I'm thinking about, and it's exactly what happened to him. And he can't see that fake love that his mother gave him, drawing him in. It's just as evil as that outright evil love she gave her daughter. It's the same spirit. Both are evil.
Yes. Yeah.
Very good point. That's deep. So in closing, did your neighbor ever did he understand that he hated his mother? He doesn't love her?
I think he kind of like, all right, let's move on to the next subject.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to talk about my mama.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Very good point, Diana. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Very, very good observation.
Yeah. Yeah. When I after that, I was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. He's not getting it. A lot of men that call your show are not getting it. And it's just the way, it's the same spirit. It's just instilled in the man and the woman differently.
Absolutely. Amazing. Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
You're welcome, Jesse. Merry Christmas.
That's amazing. That's deep. That is so deep.